In our summer special of Top 5 Liberty Technologies, the series concludes today with number 1, Re-decentralization. Your host is Rick Fakvinger, and this is Liberties Report.
This report is presented by Private Internet Access.
Welcome to Liberties Report Week 33, 2015. This is the number 1 position in our summer special of Liberty Technologies that need to take off to safeguard our liberty. We've covered mesh networks, a Tor default install. We've covered Bitcoin bridges, two-way bridges, and we've covered end-to-end encryption. The number 1 technology that needs to take off to safeguard our liberties is much more conceptual than it is practical. It is re-decentralization. You'll remember that in 2004 through approximately 2009, blogs were all the rage. And these blogs were more often than not hosted on various blogging sites or on people's own servers. Decentralization was key to the discussion. Everybody was linking back and forth, and everybody was doing their own linking back and forth. This did not just give a very good dynamic to the discussion. It gave resilience. If one platform decided, for example, that female nipples are unacceptable, no other platforms would care, and that particular platform would have been ridiculed. However, around 2009, 2010, something happened, and Facebook and Twitter largely took over people's news flows. It went from becoming the blogosphere to the few streams. And this brings a vulnerability, this brings a single point of failure, and this enables a private corporation to project its own values on what speech is acceptable onto the rest of society. And frankly, that is not an acceptable situation. It was a larger convenience to use a centralized service such as Facebook or Twitter. It had less cost to us as users and to the people running the service to have it as centralized as possible. It was more profitable to run a centralized service than it was to run a private server at people's homes. But we're paying the price for that now. That, I hope, is a dead end. We are seeing how these large centralized services are the primary target for adversarial governments and three-letter agencies like the NSA and the four-letter agency GCHQ in the UK. Therefore, to really safeguard our liberties long-term, a re-decentralization from today's centralized services need to take place. There are many activist entrepreneurs working on this, like Elo, have the ambition to be Facebook replacement. There are encryption services working to be decentralized, storage services working to be decentralized instead of the centralized, say, Dropbox or similar. But they are not there yet. We have learned just how vulnerable a centralized service is to an adversarial government, especially when it's a crazy government that can not just go in and fetch any data they want, but also say that anybody telling on the world that the government went in and took any data they wanted will go to jail. The recourse is not political. You can't go up against the cost-benefit analysis of a central government attacking a large player. What you can do is add resilience by being many small players. And that's where we need to go, not just on social networks, but on all forms of communication, information, and storage. That needs to be the number 1 goal for the next decade. Re-decentralization. I'm Rick Falkfinger, and this is Liberties Report. Visit our sponsor, Private Internet Access. Good night.
This report is presented by Private Internet Access.
Liberties Report is produced using exclusively free software.